You're listening to the Decentralized Talk Podcast, your crypto connection.
Decentralized Talk. Decentralized Talk.
All right, guys. Welcome to another outstanding episode of the Decentralized Talk Podcast. This is the best crypto podcast left. This is your place to break down crypto happenings and general bullshit about crypto events influencing the crypto markets. We are growing our audience every week, even in this bear market. It's a bear market, but it's a bull market for us. We're growing week over week in the bear market. It's incredible. I think so many people are looking for an outlet to talk and hear about cryptocurrency, crypto culture, what's happening, what's growing in the market, who are the players that are making things happen, the movers and shakers, if you will.
I'm more of a shaker than a mover.
I would agree with that.
I like to shake it. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't try to deny it.
Yeah, why would you? I mean, if you had a choice to be a mover or a shaker, I'd rather be a shaker.
Yeah. Just move out of my way so I can shake. That's what I tell everybody on a daily basis.
You gotta have shaking room.
Like they're like, paper or plastic, sir? Move out of my way. I'm trying to shake here.
Trying to shake.
Sir, you can't shake here. Oh, fuck, I can't.
You want fries with that shake?
Did your parents ever give you the old would you like some cheese with that wine when you were a kid? When you were like crying about something?
No.
I
always got the people in hell want ice water. So,
I never heard
you said
that.
You wanted something. My mom was like, "Well, people in hell want ice water."
No, my dad was in the army. I got a lot of suck it up.
Suck it up.
Suck it up. Yeah, I got that one too.
We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Music, and Spotify. This is not investing advice. Even if we give you investing advice, it's not investing advice. It's just our opinions. Do your own research when investing in cryptocurrencies or any currencies or anything.
Mm-hmm. Always risk, and any investment has risk. So you always want to do research.
Yeah, and crypto is super fucking risky. Like, obviously. Like,
just a little bit.
If you're listening to this podcast at this point, you're either new to crypto, which is cool because you're trying to figure out what it's all about. And if you're keen to how markets work, then you know that this is not a time to ignore crypto. This is the time to study crypto. I'm not saying that you need to enter the market right now, but you may, right? This may be the time to enter the market. It's the time to enter the market is not when it's at 20,000 after 3 months ago, it was at 8,000, right? That's not the time to enter the market. Is the time to enter the market.
That's pretty apparent now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know what they say. Yeah.
In hindsight.
Well, Heston's been shaking his way to
homelessness.
I think we all have been.
I tell you what, I wish I was like new to crypto right now. Wish we were just starting this podcast right now.
Yeah, well, how many times when Bitcoin was 16, 17,000, you thought to yourself, man, if Bitcoin was $5,000, I'd cash out my 401k and just buy as much as I could. Like, that would be such a great buy. And now it is somewhere around 3,200, something like that, 34.
That's the shitty thing is I was buying it then. Before then, now I've been buying it the whole time. So
Toddle doddle.
I was getting it at 17 grand, but I was also getting it 3,900 and now 3 grand, 5 grand, 6 grand, whatever. I've just been getting it the whole time. I think that's the way to do it. But yeah, it was a lot easy. It's a lot easier to get now than it was when it was 19 grand. I don't think I ever actually got any at 19 grand. I think the highest I remember buying some is like 17. And just a little here and there. It's not like I was like, oh, here's another 20 grand. I'm throwing another 25 grand into this thing. It's never going to stop going up. It's just little small DCA investments over time.
Yeah, and I think looking back, it's so easy to see the pump. Everybody was Bitcoin's going to be $100,000 a coin. No, you idiot! It's going to be $500,000 a coin.
No, it's going to be $1 million.
Yeah, and it's just all these like just absurd numbers. Yeah,
I still think it will be. I still think it will be those numbers. I really do. But it's just going to take a lot more time than 1 year.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. I think it will be there because
nothing can change the fact that it's a decentralized, open ledger currency.
Right.
Like nobody can take that away.
Right. You may never be able to spend Bitcoin. Like you may never be able to buy something at Walmart with Bitcoin, but that doesn't change the fact that it's not going away. It's not being dissolved. It's not being hacked. It's not being this.
I think that's the thing is it's like such a hedge, like because economic collapses happen all the damn time, throughout history, and they're kind of inevitable. So it's like whenever the next one comes, it might be pretty handy to be holding this deflationary currency that could work and could not work. It just might be very handy to hold.
Let's talk about that real quick. So I think that's a very good point. Cryptocurrency is a good hedge. I believe that it is a good hedge. It hasn't been a very good hedge recently, but I think over the course of a decade or more or whatever, and for anybody who bought it a decade ago, they probably feel like it is a very good hedge.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want that to get confused for the audience with some impending market crash. The markets have been taking big number tanks recently.
Yeah.
But if you look at the market over the last,
good Lord.
If you look at the market over the last 2 years, it hadn't even taken a dent. Nothing since 2016. Nothing. Pull it up.
I'd agree with that.
Pull it up. You don't have to agree or disagree. You can pull it up.
I mean, what are you referring to? Because I mean, percentage-wise, it's one of the biggest drops that we've had since 2008. But if you're saying, yeah, it was going up overall, then yeah, but it's been going up overall for the last 9 years,
Look at the Dow. Go to the 5-year chart on the Dow.
I think what you're trying to say is since Trump's been in office, stocks are still up. Trying to stay positive about it, and I respect that. But
I do. Well, I do definitely think. I mean, it definitely has to do with
down.
It definitely has to do with Trump. Stocks are tremendously down from where? Not from 2017, right? You're just talking about the gains from 2018. Yeah, the gains from 2018 are basically flat. But the gains.
Yeah, but I mean, when's the last time that happened?
Between 2017 and 2018 it's like double, and then between 2016 and 2017 is like another double. So
definitely. So my question is like, when's the last time we've seen a drop like this?
2007. Well, no, 2007. Oh, a drop like this? I mean, we saw a drop like this in the beginning of 2018. In like same time kind of Bitcoin was crashing, the Dow was going crazy, and it was making these big swaps and sweeps, huge drops. Let's see, between January 19th at 26,000 Dow to March 23rd, 23,000 Dow. So the Dow lost 3,000 points between January 29th and March 23rd. That's a massive dip. And then it jumped all the way back up, climbed all the way back up steady to 26. I'm just saying, I think with the Trump presidency, there's a lot of different things that are happening globally, and it's freaking people out, and that's causing a lot of volatility. but
Yeah.
net it's gaining. And I mean, I'm not kissing Trump's ass over this. I mean, it is what it is. It definitely is obviously a massive jump in our economy from 2016 to today. Massive. You're talking in 2016, the end of 2016, the Dow was at 16,000.
Yeah,
Today,
but
after all this stuff, is 24. It's at 24.
Well, then you can say in the same argument that it's a massive increase from February 27, 2009, because it is massive. I mean, massive increase from 2009 to now. I mean, it's incredible increase. I'm talking hundreds of points there.
Yeah. So let's look. So basically,
you kind of say that about anything that's going up for a decade.
Yeah. So
it was also good.
Since the Dow was around 8,000.
13, 14, 15, 16. It's always since 2000, since the crash of 2008. It's always been going up. It's just had little bumps here and there, and this is just kind of one of the biggest ones we've seen since 2009.
Yeah. Also, if you look at the rate of increase from, let's say, 2000, 2008, at the very bottom of the crash, to like the end of 2015, right there around the election, November 2015. That's when you see like a bunch of volatility because nobody knew what was going to happen, right? Yeah. And then you see the absolutely sharpest increase in the history of our country ever.
And remember, guys, we're very fair and balanced, so don't ever forget that. They're not biased about anything ever.
Well, we just read the charts.
Yeah, that's all we're doing. We're just reading them charts
with math.
Yeah, but
that's all we're doing, guys.
Sorry, I stepped out for a second, but I'm assuming y'all are trying to.
You stepped out of our podcast, sir?
Yes, sir, did.
What kind of
I'm
low
back
budget
now,
podcast
though,
do you think this is?
And came in on the tail end of this, but it sounds like y'all are trying to establish a correlation between the crypto market and the Dow.
Sure. No, I just said that we've been having a really badass run in the Dow broadly, and I think there's been some volatility, big crashes and big swings in the last like 4 weeks, and everybody on the internet, it just acts like, oh, this is it, this is the crash. We're at the crash. This is the crash. I was warning you about this. Krugman predicted this crash.
But I mean,
yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't know if it's. But I'm saying, look, I'm not even saying exactly. I'm not saying
somebody wants to predict something correctly.
Yes, exactly.
All the time.
Exactly.
Everybody's trying to make a prediction.
I see. I'm gonna make a prediction right now. I see a bombing. It's going to be in a very highly populated area. I see people screaming. I see buildings falling. I see airplanes are involved. I see fire, smoke, and I see the numbers 1 through 10 or 10 through 40.
You're a prophet.
Yeah.
So what is the correlation between crypto? By the way, this was not supposed to be what this episode was about. Well, so what's the correlation between crypto and the stock markets, you think?
I don't think there is one. I don't.
There used to be. It seemed like.
I don't think there is one. I don't think crypto even factors into the true.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. It's just like, wait, where is this? If all this money is flooding out of stock markets, where's it going?
It's going into everything, man. It's going into soybeans. It's going into it's going to land. It's going into property.
Well, so the real estate market should be like skyrocketing. The commodities industry should be skyrocketing. gold should be up
Yeah, but the stock
tremendously.
market's not down that much. But then you got like certificates and funds and other stuff you can invest into, CDs, all that kind of safer investments that have much lower returns. Those are all possibilities. But I mean, the stock market, the crypto market, a 50% loss in the crypto market would be like a 2% loss of the day in the stock market, in the Dow.
Which is what we saw. Today.
What it's Apple's worth
500 points, right?
Yeah. I mean, one company is worth.
And
what?
see, that's what, like in my opinion,
of the.
I think that's what the stock market needs is a huge crash, because I just think these companies are just way overvalued. I don't think there should be $1 trillion companies. That's so much money.
You mean from an ethical perspective, or you mean
No.
like from a financial perspective?
From financial perspective. No, I mean if
What do you mean they achieved that? They achieved that financially.
They achieved that from speculation.
Apple
People investing. Their revenue isn't $1 trillion. Their market cap is $1 trillion. Meaning the people, what the price that people are willing to buy their shares at adds up to $1 trillion. And that just seems just too overvalued at this point in history. I just don't think anything should go up as much as the stock market has gone up in the last 10 years without a major correction.
I think
you're really, so what is their value? You said $1 trillion?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just hit it.
There was two. Who was it that hit it right after him? Somebody hit it right after, and then they dropped down under $1 trillion.
Probably.
I mean, you have to consider
maybe, or
the revenue. The revenue is $265 billion a year, and then you have to take into consideration all their assets and everything. I could see it being $1 trillion company if they're making that much every year. It's not. If you were going to buy Apple, I would ask, and I owned Apple, I would say, give me $1 trillion, because I can make 265 billion every year.
Yeah.
Good argument.
And if you owned it, so could you.
Yeah. And I could see that being
probably do such a better job, bro. That's what I would say if I was trying to sell it.
So they said.
Listen,
this is
you could make $2 trillion.
I know you can make $2 trillion, and I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm buying me an island.
Look. I talked to somebody recently at work, and they said, I have this family friend or whatever, and they own this business, and they experienced this really great liquidity event, and they went and bought this island in Wisconsin. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, they bought this island in Wisconsin. And I was like, what? Okay, why in the fuck, if you're buying an island, would you pick somewhere cold? If you have the money to buy an island, why would you pick Wisconsin?
I bet islands are cheaper in Wisconsin.
probably the only place you can buy an island for like the price of a shack.
That's possible.
I don't know, Wisconsin though. I was thinking Montana. You were saying Wisconsin.
I'm thinking like, what kind of island is it? Like on a lake or something?
That's what I'm trying to
have,
yeah, but I mean,
property.
Yeah. You got to think too. There's cold water. Maybe they like ice skating.
Yeah.
And snow fishing or ice fishing, snow fishing.
Yeah, but that's why you buy your tropical island first. I could see like, my second island. It's like a second island or something like that. But
Island 4
island,
basically just a volcano, but it's cool.
Yeah. I got this terrible arthritis. I'm gonna go take a vacation in my vacation home in the snow.
I don't have arthritis, so
I do.
I'd be cool with it.
I do. Arthritis sucks. So back to the stock market though. So this quarter is the worst quarter since 2011. Why do you guys think that is? I mean, like, why do you think? I mean, what do you think?
Because we're in a trade war with China right now.
You think it's just all the uncertainty? You think
Yeah,
that's the same thing?
absolutely. We're in a trade war with China. Nobody wants to look. The market thrives on good, safe bets. And if look, Trump won the tariff war with Europe, but he may not win the tariff war with China. And he's kind of got the same strategy. He's always got the same strategy. He comes in, he acts like a dick, he ruffles everybody's feathers up, and then he backs out and he gets a deal that he finds to be fair and equitable. In this case, the guy he's dealing with, Xi Jinping, is he's apparently he's like a world class level yeah, kind of. He's like a world-class level poker player, like actually. And maybe that could be because, like in China, if the prime minister beats you in poker, you like lose your head. So, feel like
Actual facts.
actual
facts.
facts.
Hashtag facts.
Hashtag facts.
Mhm.
Hashtag fake news. But yeah, supposedly he's like a world-class poker player. So
Good thing.
yeah,
That culture could be deadly not to be.
could be deadly not to be.
It probably comes in handy to have a mean poker face when you're dealing with Trump.
Yeah, or if you're just negotiating on a world stage, particularly if you're a country like China or a country like Russia or a country like Iran, where your goal is not really to be part of the club. I think the rest of the countries, part of the United Nations, and they're kind of working to work together. Trump has obviously balked at that recently and is kind of coming back into it. But like China has no intention of being part of the world order. They want to be China. Same thing with Iran, same thing with Russia.
Back to the stock market.
I mean, there's also the Asian stock markets too. We can't forget about them.
Yeah, but
They're
I don't
also
know anything
down,
about this. Well, same thing. China's is down. Same reason, same thoughts. I mean, they don't know what's going to happen too. It's uncertainty.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
So I listen to Audible.
Cheese stick.
Yeah, quite frequently, and a water. Yeah. And I listen to a lot of sci-fi fantasy books. That's like, zombie novels,
Dark Tower.
Spec Ops, Dark Tower, futuristic shit.
Definitely.
And they give you, or apocalyptic stuff. And then they give you recommendations. Well, for some reason I logged back in, and I had like 6 credits. And I don't know where they came from. And they were like, you have to use 2 of these by the end of the month, or we're going to take them because you have too many. And I was like,
Audible?
all right, what? Yeah. When I logged out, I had 2. I don't know how I had 6 when I came back. But anyways, so I started downloading stuff, and this one popped up on there, and it's called Planet Kill. So I downloaded it, started listening to it, and it's kind of like Mockingjay, Hunger Games,
Yeah.
where there's like a tournament, but it's a planet where you can you choose to go there. You have to choose to go there to fight, and it's like, I don't know, kind of like Death Race 2, and it's almost like a video game on the planet. You can upgrade your weapons, and you can gain power and level up and make a bunch
Like
of
Ready Player One?
maybe. I saw the movie, didn't read the book. I don't really remember, but
The movie was fucking garbage.
ish. But like in real life. And then if you make a bunch of money, you can get off the island and retire, or the planet and retire and all that. Well, it turns out it's also hardcore erotica.
What?
I get like 10 minutes into it.
Robot dick.
I was like, whoa, what is happening? I mean, I say hardcore erotica. It's like,
So how was the ending?
It's like Showtime. It's like softcore book erotica.
So it's pretty much a given that you finished the book. How did it end?
Oh, it's a given that you finished.
I looked into it. It's a 7-book series. I was
Oh
like,
my.
Oh wow, that's a lot of erotic.
yeah.
This is going to cause accidents on the road, I think.
I have not finished it. I'm debating on whether I'm going to finish it, to be honest with you.
Are you master debating?
Yeah.
Eh.
Eh.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's really sweet.
I know how you like to use Audible too. I'll send you a copy of it, Tater.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. My my company has a Japanese library, and it's like a continuing education library, and you get points like the reader club from like 5th grade, and like you read these books that are picked by the executive suite, and they give you points for them. And if you read 100 points worth of books over the course of a quarter, then you get $100, which is, I mean, I don't know, by the time I take taxes out and everything on a bonus money like that, probably $70 to read probably 5 to 10 books a quarter. Some of them are very small and some of them are big, but it's a pretty cool incentive.
I like
just
that, yeah.
to say from a company perspective, hey, we want you to continue learning, and this is the type of material we want you to read.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually. I like that.
And that about does it for this episode of the Decentralized Talk Podcast. I don't know what I want you to look, hey, for the next episode, I want you to start the episode and then like walk us into this robot erotica.
It wasn't any robot erotica. It was pretty calm erotica.
Give me some lines. Give me some calm lines from that.
Oh man, nope.
What was your favorite? Like part of the like you got to do a book report to get the points, and one of the like little. It's not really a book report. It's like a series of like paragraph questions you answer, and one of the questions is, give me a quote from the book.
I don't think he has any. We'll move on. So we've kind of focused on the stock market, the economy, the U.S. economy, the global economy.
Oh no! Oh yeah!
Robot erotica.
It's robot erotica.
So we hope you have all loved this episode about robot erotica. This will be our most popular episode
to date.
Just wait till the SEO comes out. Those keyword searches about robot erotica.
Robotica.
But yeah, I mean, we've kind of focused on the economy so far this episode.
Also, this has been about a 25-minute episode, so you probably remember that because it was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't, then that's probably a problem. You should go see somebody because that short-term memory is really bad. So I mean, what do you do if you're just an average Joe and you're listening to a podcast called Decentralized Talk and you're thinking about investing in something? Like, what do you do right now? Do you play it safe and invest your money into a hedge like gold, or do you go risky and invest in crypto hoping that this is the bottom? Or do you go into the stock market thinking it's the bottom and it's not going to plunge anymore, and maybe you get some FANG stocks on the cheap? Do you go penny stocks? What do you think? Like if I was going to invest my first dollar into something, what do you think it should be right now? Should it be stocks, commodities, real estate, the meat industry?
Land. I'm always going to say land.
Real estate does seem like the best bet most of the time.
Nah, I don't mean like property, like, or like commercial or anything like that. I mean strictly like raw land, Benjamin Franklin said somebody said, "What do you invest in?" He said, "I invest in land because they're not making any more of it." And that's absolutely true. That's why commodity investments are good. That's why
it's very deflationary, like Bitcoin. They're not making any more of it.
Yeah. This is also not investing advice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
this is just my opinion. I think land is the best thing to invest in, unless you buy it in Flint, Michigan.
The problem with land is it's expensive. I mean, a lot of people can't afford land, especially in specific areas. I mean, even in Texas, we have, there's a lot of land out here to buy. You look at it's even cheaper than a lot of other areas.
Saw 5 acres for $5,000 today.
Yep, that's wow. That is incredible, actually.
Yeah, that's
average in Texas is like
$10,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1,000 an acre.
No, and
so I saw it, but this is like literally like a mile from the border. So it's like you buy this land, and the land comes with like lord. 4 dead bodies and a Coke mule.
Hey, but it's a hell of a deal.
Is it? You become a coyote?
Yeah.
No, like now that I've been looking into like international properties and stuff, like Thailand specifically, it's very interesting how you can't buy land unless you're a citizen there.
That's
You can buy houses, and you can own the house, but you can't own the land that the house is actually on. So you have to go through a real estate broker that will like own the house in your name, like in their name, but you own the title to it. It's a very complex situation. But international land is very cheap, but it's all the lawyer fees and stuff that add up that end up kind of almost making it equal. It's still cheaper in some places than the U.S.
Is it like out of state tuition basically?
I guess you could equate it
up everything and make it more expensive because they want.
There's extra fees that you have to pay because you're not a citizen there. But I mean, it still comes out to be cheaper than in America for most places.
And then some countries have stipulations. Like I believe in Mexico, American citizens can't buy oceanfront property. So your land can't. Any part of your land cannot touch the ocean. I'm pretty sure that's true.
That's going to be fucked when global warming happens, and like you were like, I was like 10 feet away. Now I got the oceanfront.
I got oceanfront property.
Light up the gas grill, bitch.
In Arizona.
I got 6 more inches till I got oceanfront property in Mexico. So we start burning some trash.
Yeah. And it's in Mexico City.
It's actually on top of one of those step pyramids.
No, but I do think you brought up a good point. Real estate does always seem to be one of the safer investments, but it is very expensive, and so it's not something you can just jump. Your average person can just jump in all the time. Usually, it's probably better or even possible to start off with a low volatility commodity like gold or something like that, and just hold it. It just depends what your like investment strategy would be. Is it super long term? Is it super short term?
I talked to a guy recently who had a friend from high school. He took his $65,000 student loan and shorted Facebook. He made $400 and some odd $1,000 in one day.
Damn. Holy shit.
If you got the balls to do that. And honestly, the really crazy thing is again, I hate to turn everything political, but if you get somebody like a Bernie Sanders in office, and so let's just say you're counting on that, like you're banking on Bernie getting in office, or like Beto O'Rourke getting in office. If you're banking on that, which I think is probably a high probability, maybe not in the next 4, but certainly after Trump is out, it could definitely swing that way. I think it's the way politics swing. And so if they put together a program like a reimbursement for student loans or money spent on college and that kind of thing, if you take a student loan out right now, you can take a student loan out for $65,000. The interest rate on it is super low. You don't have to pay it back at all until you graduate, right? In a lot of cases, they can't affect your credit score, right? So if you don't pay back the student loan, then they don't get the money back. It doesn't affect your credit score. So honestly, I mean, it's totally fucked up, but maybe this like the sneakiest or smartest like play is student loan money. That's the least risk associated with it from a loan perspective. Every other loan out there has got terrible interest rates, and you can go to a loan shark and get your knees broken, or you can do a student loan that's government backed and basically I was going to try to pay it back, but
I feel like you should never invest with a loan.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, of course you should never invest.
It's probably not the smartest idea, but hey, if you win,
yeah,
it's definitely.
Well, if you've already decided like, nah, college isn't for me.
Yeah. So I'm out this money regardless.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out this money. I don't want to do college.
So if you only invest what you can afford to lose, and you afford to lose that entire loan.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have
out the loan, you could just paid the loan back. It's been like, oh, I took the money out for college. I'm not going to do it. Here's the money back.
If he wouldn't, short wouldn't have gone so well.
No, the right thing to do, obviously, is to work a job, 55 hours a week and get paid,
terrible wages,
$48,000 a year, and try to pay off, your gas and everything to get there. And by the time you're 45 years old, you can pay off your student loans.
Yeah.
Or
that's great.
You could short Facebook.
Yeah, and make $400,000 in a day.
Yeah. He sent a text that said, "Should I retire?"
Don't know if that's retirement money though.
Oh no, it's not retirement.
Well, if you invest it right, it could be. And you live modestly.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to have $400,000 in the bank and live in a tiny house.
Oh, I think I could. I could totally do.
I mean,
that.
I could live in a tiny house and I could have $400,000 in the bank. I don't know. I could do both.
It would, yeah. I mean, the temptation would be difficult to deal with. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what this tiny house needs? About 6 more rooms.
And a pool.
And a pool.
And to be next to a lake. Got the boat behind it. A nice car in the driveway.
Couple of those nice cars.
But a big screen TV right there.
Yeah.
All right, babe. We're moving.
We're moving. And we're also broke again.
Yeah.
I'll be applying for jobs tomorrow.
But today, we're going on the boat. Well, that about wraps things up for this episode of The D. Be sure to tune in next week where we attempt to interview somebody for something. And it could be something cool. Like Bill Ottman. That was pretty cool. Stay tuned to find out if it's interesting or not this time. Check us out and be sure to send comments at DTalk Podcast on Twitter and Facebook. Decentralized Talk on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and passively on Music Coin. A decent cryptos.